change. Every time I do one of these, people like change. You know?
Like change their personality?
Yeah.
Oh,
sometimes. And that's why I was a little nervous to do just with the cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I noticed when that camera's on someone, they're like,
yeah.
It's like, it's not a big deal. You just keep talking like you were.
Yeah. Well, yeah, now that you're saying that, I'm feeling it.
You're feeling it?
But I'm going to try to combat that. Pretend it's not happening.
Okay, now we're really going. This is really it.
Hell yeah.
And it's better just to roll in on the natural conversation like we were just having.
Yes, exactly. Like we've been having.
Okay. How was your week? How are you doing?
How was my week? It's been good. I started a new job recently. So
really?
I've been kind of, adjusting to that. I work at a little French bakery.
Ooh. In town?
Yeah, brioche. Mm. Yeah, so come by for any baguettes, any pastries. Yeah.
Nice.
It's really fun. But other than that, I spent some time up in Monterey in the last week.
Cool.
Went to a car show.
Ooh.
Yeah, big car show.
What's the car show scene? Are there masks? Are there...
Oh.
What's happening?
No, yeah, I mean, I wore a mask the whole time,
of
course, because I'm paranoid.
Yeah.
But, no, there was, like, quite a few people wearing masks, but other than that, like, everyone's just...
Interesting.
It's kind of like Republican country.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I think that's a big... Yeah.
Totally. So,
was it just to look at cars, or could you buy a car?
There's auctions.
Oh, okay.
And I'm talking, like, really...
Nice?
High price.
Oh,
like,
really?
multi-million-dollar car
Oh,
auctions.
my God.
Yeah, it was, like... I just couldn't even fathom the amount of money that was around me. And I'm just like sitting here like looking at cars that I know nothing about. But I know that they're like real deal big cars.
The kind of auctions I'm thinking of is when like a car gets repossessed. Oh. And then they're super cheap. Oh. Those are the ones I'm always looking for.
Those are the interesting ones.
Yeah. It's like, because this is a normal car. They just couldn't afford the payments anymore.
You're right. Right. So, those are interesting. But these are the bigger, fancier ones. Right, are also interesting because you're like,
kind of collectors.
How much are they going to spend?
Yeah.
And who's going to fight over it? And the people, there's so much people watching to do.
It makes me wonder, like, how do people have so much money?
No.
I guess they say the same thing when they see us with all the gear on stage.
Yeah.
But it's like you don't buy everything at once. It's not like you wake up and you're a musician. Yeah. You grow it over time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you noticed that? Like how much gear you have now over time?
Yeah. No, totally. But I hardly buy gear. But yes, I have noticed with other people.
Totally.
You don't just get it all at once. Spend it all at once.
I know. That being said, I think that's what people think. I think people think you start playing music and...
The amp, get the guitar, get the pedals.
The amp, I think it took me like 6 years to get an amp.
Get like a nice amp or like an amp in general?
A nice amp, because I was borrowing a friend's amp.
Oh, yeah.
And the reverb was broken.
Oh, no.
So the literal knob was off. So I never played with reverb. It was dry.
You can't.
It sounded awful.
I think I did
that. 6 years is a lot. I think I did it for like 2013. I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I feel lucky my parents have helped me out with buying a lot of my equipment. I bought my first guitar, though, by myself at 14 with money that I saved up from doing shows. So it was a Martin DMD, I don't remember the model.
It was an acoustic guitar?
Yeah. Really nice. And like, I stopped playing acoustic for a while, but now I've like found this new love for like just soft acoustic stuff. So it's gone a lot of places with me.
Totally. Okay, so now it's back out. You're playing it again.
Playing it more, yeah. Writing songs on it more.
Whoa. Okay, then let's go back to the start. Are you originally from Santa Barbara?
Technically, yes.
Yeah?
I was born in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
But I grew up pretty much here.
You identify as a Santa Barbara.
Yeah. Not a Coloradoan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you start playing music?
I started singing, like I've been singing my whole life, as we all have. But playing music, I started taking guitar lessons around 9. Playing.
Where at?
Billy's Guitar Garage.
Billy's Guitar Garage.
Do you remember that place? It was in Carp.
Okay.
It was just like in a back alley.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it was like the start of it all. I loved it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I started playing guitar, around the age of 10, and then playing shows like around the age of 11.
Whoa. You started real young.
I think I started playing shows at 10.
How does one even start that young? Like
I would do like busking like at the farmers markets.
Yeah.
Everyone around town knew me as the girl with the pink guitar. I had a sparkly pink guitar.
Nice.
And I would play around and
I guess my question is more like, how do you have that motivation? Like, oh, this is what I want to do. Like, who pointed you or what pointed you in that direction?
I don't really know. Like, I've always been a performer. I was also a child actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, just performing has always been a thing I did. And maybe a segue into that was I would like film videos for YouTube just for fun. And then I started playing those songs like at the farmers markets.
Right.
And people would be nice and be like, hey, little girl, come play at this show.
Yeah.
Like a small little community event. And then it would just kind of go from there.
Whoa.
So, yeah. Very young.
Yeah. Super young. Was there ever a point where you felt, did you burn out young? Like, was there a moment where you're like, I should like take a break from this? Like,
actually, yeah. Like I got probably to like the height of my like youth music career around like maybe 17 or 18.
Whoa.
And then I was like,
height as in like playing and being active.
Yeah, like playing a lot and being really active. Yeah. And when I was like 19 or so, I started like not feeling too like I guess a little insecurity that is was what I was feeling, and just like not feeling like it was gonna go anywhere. So I just kind of stopped. I didn't really stop playing music, and I'd play little shows, but
pursuing
it wasn't
a
really
career,
my passion for a little while. And then it kind of got more into art and going to school and stuff.
Right.
But within the last year, really, out of nowhere, it was like literally a switch flipped. And I just was like, I'm gonna actually do this and like actually put my energy back into it, because I've already started it,
Yeah,
might as well finish it.
Yeah. It's something that will never end, unfortunately. I think like I don't know.
I can't even imagine stopping at this point.
I think about that all the time. I'm 31 now, and a conversation in my own head that's been going on is like life after music. And it's not even life after like writing and playing, it's like life after touring. And like, because I can't do that forever. Like, it costs way too much fucking money.
That's
it's
true.
like such a physical and emotional like drag. I love it and it's awesome, but in the moment, sometimes it doesn't feel that way.
Yeah,
and like,
totally.
I think about that all the time, but I don't know. I still don't have an answer, so I keep
Me
pushing.
neither. It's really weird because like we're young.
Right.
We're still like have a window here.
Right.
But I think about like if I were to do this as a career professionally big, what would that look like when I'm 60?
Right.
And I can't even imagine it.
Yeah.
The thing, like the person that I could maybe imagine it being in my older age is like Patti Smith or something.
Yeah.
Like just like someone cool and like does it and like but doesn't really do it as like she's trying to do music anymore. She's just an artist.
Yeah, and she definitely had her moment where she did do it. It's like I'm doing it. And I'm sure she always did for the art, but like a mix of like art and money at the same time. That's where it gets insane, and that's where it gets crazy, and that's where it gets really difficult.
Yeah. But hey, it's like I always kind of feel like there's like I said, the window of like when you're kind of past your prime. Yeah. And I feel like more
what does that
and
mean?
more like I know.
We're not athletes. Like we don't have a physical prime,
no,
but like
it's literally I guess relevancy.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I feel like now I'm hearing about older and older artists.
Yeah.
Like, I feel very inspired by that. Like older female artists, we have a difficult path to take, and I get really inspired when I hear of like artists that are older than like much older than me doing it and like still getting their music out there.
And totally. And I think part of that is the environment of the music industry telling us that you have to be fucking 18 years old or you're never going to make it. And it's like not the case anymore.
That is like
at all.
That's why I struggled with it when I turned 18.
Yeah.
Because for most of my life, it was, oh, she's so cute, she's so young, and she's so good for her age.
Right. So there's some expectation.
Yeah. Once I turned 18, I was like, oh my God, are people gonna stop caring?
Yeah, totally.
And like, in a way, it kind of felt like that, but at the same time, like I think I stopped caring for a little bit. And I started getting into that mentality too much, and now I'm like, no, that's toxic. Like, I can't listen to those dumb thoughts.
I think being 18 is such a transitional year, too. I think the next transitional year is 25.
Yeah.
18 and 25, I think for me, I guess 21 too, because then you're like, oh, I'm 21. Like,
yeah, totally.
But then like 25 is, I don't know, for me, I think for a lot of people, where it kind of clicks. Like, oh, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm doing. And then 30 is like, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
This is who I am and this is what I'm doing. I think I know who I am now.
Seeking advice right now.
Like, at least for me, 25 is when things started clicking. Like, I was like, oh, I get it now. And then 30 was like, oh, I'm not afraid of being 30 now.
Yeah.
Because, there's that big lead up until you're 30 where you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Nothing happens. You just turn 30 and then you wake up the next day feeling the same way as I did when I was 21.
Yeah, totally.
I'm just a little bit more smarter and wiser. And like.
That is the beautiful thing. I was scared. I'm still like dealing with that fear of getting older.
Oh, yeah.
But also I've like found that I really love knowing things now.
Totally.
Like knowing things about love and life compared to where I was when I was 18. Like it's a world of difference. I feel like such a like more rounded person as I grow up.
Yeah, every year it's just going to get different and different and different.
Yeah.
And then you hit 30 and it's like awesome.
And then it's the same.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me turning like 25 and in that group between 25 and 30 was like big on like, this is what I want out of a relationship. This is what I want out of like, these are my boundaries with people, like
totally.
Placing boundaries and understanding like that's a good person for me. That's not a good person for me.
Yeah. You learn a lot about like other people as you get older. And like I can read people better and I can tell like this person's not going to be good for me.
Yeah.
And then you also realize I have the ability to cut that person out
if
I need to.
Totally.
Which is something I never really considered before.
I think social media has changed a lot too. Like at least when I first turned 21, everyone was on Facebook. And it was, and you couldn't not see people. But on Instagram and stuff, I don't follow any of my old friends from high school.
Yeah,
because
totally.
it's Instagram. I like follow the artists
and the
people
that are cool.
Yeah, the people I want to look at. And I'm really glad for that because Facebook put us all like we were still in high school. So that's why I didn't go to my high school reunion because it was like I know what you guys are all up to. I saw you guys grow up with on Facebook.
Yeah, totally.
So where's the shock? But now I think I'd go to my 15th or 20th because I don't know what anyone's doing anymore.
Yeah, totally. I feel like that's a good move.
Yeah.
I feel like, honestly, especially in the past year, the only way I keep up with people is through Instagram.
Right.
Now. Like, I mean, I'm not really on Facebook much anymore.
Oh, no. Just our parents are.
Our parents are.
Yeah, my mom's big on Facebook.
It's a poppin' place.
Oh, yeah, it really is. But, it's just them now.
And it's Instagram for us.
Yep.
And that's, like, happening.
And TikTok.
And then TikTok for Gen Z.
I feel like I talk about TikTok every fucking podcast, but like it really is, I think, the best place for artists to be on if you're just dropping songs, dropping clips from music videos or anything like that. I still think that's like the best place.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it because I've been on TikTok maybe for a year now and I'm not like super active, but it gave me a lot of anxiety. Like I can see the positive sides to it, of course. But yeah, I think also like the relevancy and like feeling like I'm irrelevant because everyone's so young on there. Like I'm not that much older than them, but like I'm like 22 and I feel like, okay, well, no one cares because I'm 22 and I'm not 18.
Oh yeah.
And that was like I had to take a break from TikTok because of that. But I do agree. Like there's so many like positive things to it, and I've met really cool musicians on there, which is awesome.
You gotta like engage with I don't know, you just gotta change your feed up because when you first got on the app it's just like sports highlights and it's all over the place and it's trying to figure out who you are. I noticed this the other day because the company I work for, I just started their TikTok and I was like, oh, this feed's super weird. So it took me a few hours, but I finally got on Guitar Talk where it's just people playing guitar. In particular, I need to see women play guitar because like we're trying to reach that audience right now because it's such, I don't know, I don't have to spill all my work's info, but like it's such a male dominated like this whole thing of like why women and girls don't like to go into Guitar Center. Like that's a big conversation we have of like it's just not being inclusive.
Is this Seymour Duncan?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I've talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah,
but
okay,
like,
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
So we're just trying to be more inclusive and try to invite more people in. That like this is for everyone. Guitar pickups and guitars are for everyone.
Yeah.
I know. But it's an uphill climb. Let's just say that.
Yeah. I think the other like weird part of TikTok is transitioning from like I'm very used to photos and when it comes to like creating content for video, I kind of frees up.
Yeah.
Although it's easy to just pick up guitar and play into the phone, I feel like you also have to be really interesting for people to actually want to watch it, to a certain degree.
Right.
To a certain degree.
Right.
But like,
I see some people who just sit there and just fucking sing. And it's like a cool song or something. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, oh, that guy's like a crazy player. And then he goes,
totally.
It's like, that's not my realm. I'm not going to be like that crazy shredder. Like,
yeah. But it's just this weird pressure to put on your shoulders, to create content and be like something on TikTok. But it's something I'm trying to wrap my head around. You know, you have to kind of just experiment, I guess, and see, you know, what works and what doesn't. Or you can just throw that out the window and have fun with it. And I think that's probably the best strategy with TikTok. So I don't know.
It's just to have fun. And I think I was the same way as you. I just like loved photos. And I was like, I can do photos. That's easy.
Yeah.
And then I just bought these cameras for the podcast. And I was like, oh, okay. I think I can do more video content now.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's fun. It's interesting. It's like a whole new world. And I'm just, I don't know, deep on some YouTube videos on like what cameras are the best and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Which gets like never ending. Like someone loves this camera, then another video, someone hates this camera for these reasons. It's like, it's a lot.
I bought my first like fancy real camera a year ago. And
what kind of camera is it?
It's an Olympus OMD EM5 Mark III.
Nice. And they always have these crazy
I know. And I was so pumped up about it, and I have barely touched it.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I don't know what to do. I also really do like taking photos. Right. So it's just like a matter of like finding people to take pictures of, or like things that I like want to take pictures of.
I find myself it's just more pictures of other people. There's no pictures of me. And I can't use them on the Dante account because I'm not in the photos.
Totally. I'm the same way. I like capturing other people.
Yeah.
And then I find that I'm like probably the only one doing it. And like I don't have any pictures of myself, but hey, that's what other photographers are for.
That's true.
You hire them and it's great.
It's like kind of crazy when you get into the camera world. You start meeting other photographers really quickly. It's like, at least when Sammy's camera was in town, I would just go get my disposables and come back and then get my disposables made, like printed there or developed there. And you just start meeting people. It's crazy.
Yeah,
and then they come to the show and then they take pictures of you. It's
Same
like,
with
oh, wow.
like the guitar world. I feel like. Yeah, it's just like finding the niche.
Yeah, the niche. Yeah.
Whatever the word is pronounced as, of people, and then just working your way through that.
Yeah, find that community.
Yeah, totally.
That's always like my advice to people too. Like, people ask me like about like playing shows and how, like I'll get DMs like, "Hey man, I want to play the Echo. How do you play the Echo?" It's like, I don't really.
You just gotta find people.
Meet people, like, and then someone will ask you to open or like, if you can't fill it up yourself right now, it's like if you're at that point where you're asking me, then you can't fill that venue up and you're opening, and that's okay. That's just a stage. That's a level of where you're at, and just gotta meet people. Yeah. It's hard. It's so hard.
That's why I feel like love Santa Barbara, of course. It's a great city to live in, beautiful. But I feel like I'm so ready to expand. I'm probably gonna move to LA. Maybe. I know you've lived in LA. Yeah. I know a lot of people have lived in LA and come back here. Yeah. That might happen. I don't know. But I feel like you need to experience that for a little bit. And especially since the music scene is popping off, in LA, so why not? Okay,
my take is that yes, you should do that for yourself as an experience, but the idea that you need to be in a certain city to do something in music, I think is done. I think you could just grind on the internet and put some songs on Spotify.
Internet. We live on the internet now,
and we also live super close to LA. You can drive to LA for a show.
That's the consensus I've gotten is just live here and then you're close enough to drive back and forth.
Right. But for the sense of living in a big city and you want to try it, I say do it because it's just fun.
Yeah, totally. There's plenty of cities on my list too. So it's just a matter of deciding.
Wait, let's get the list before we move on. I want to hear the whole list.
LA, Austin, Portland. But I don't know about that. Same with Austin. I really don't know about that because
you've been to Austin?
I've been to Austin. Okay. I've played in Austin a few times. Yeah, it's a cool city, but I've also heard it's super oversaturated at this point with musicians because everyone goes there for music. Right. And it's hard to, really good bands are having a hard time getting shows. Yeah. Because it's so... But because of post-COVID or just in general? I think, what I was told was because it's so oversaturated with other musicians. It's just hard.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like not something I've experienced.
Yeah,
but,
totally.
Yeah, and then, but my big dream is to go to Berlin.
Oh.
So that was something I was trying to plan for this year, but I just wasn't quite sure where I was going to be. So.
Or the world.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I'd love to go and spend like a good amount of time in Berlin. Cause it's just like the ideal city.
Portland?
No, Berlin.
Oh, Berlin.
It's just like, it's green. It's interesting. There's lots of art. Lots
I
of
haven't
music.
been.
Oh, you should go.
Yeah.
I only went for 2 weeks for like a study abroad thing, but it was just a really awesome experience.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I see like just so much art coming out of Berlin and music, and I feel like it's a good place to like settle into. So
interesting.
We'll see where life takes me.
Yeah, that's the beauty of being young. You should make mistakes now so you can bounce back quickly.
Financially.
You should make financial mistakes now when you can bounce back.
Like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it every day. My
every day is a financial.
Coffees, my little thrift clothes.
Oh no.
Yeah, one day I'm gonna have to pull it together, but not.
No.
No.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Eventually you'll just make more money to keep the habit going.
Yes, but not enough to buy multi-million-dollar cars.
No, not at all.
I could never foresee that in my future.
No, but if you can make enough money, we're like, I can afford coffee every day. What the fuck?
Yeah. There you go.
That's good.
That's all you need.
Yeah. I'm glad I did not get on the coffee thing. I am not addicted to coffee. I do not drink coffee. And my girlfriend's like, how do you do that?
That's
a
flex.
You just fucking do it.
No, I can't.
Really?
I work in a coffee shop, and I've worked. My first job was in another coffee shop, so it's just like coffee. And like it's just a fun, like exciting thing. Like
I get it. I like the ritual, like every morning. Yeah, totally. I like that. But I don't have anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I feel like you don't even. Maybe it's just me, but you don't even need coffee per se, but it is the ritual. So like if I were to drink something like coffee,
warm,
I'd probably feel energized and stuff.
Totally.
Maybe.
I found one drink at Starbucks I like, and it's the strawberry refresher.
Those are good. I haven't tried a lot of drinks at Starbucks. Yeah. But the refreshers are nice.
They're nice. They're refreshing.
It's like a tea, like a fruity
I just
tea.
needed to find one thing, because every time I go to the drive-thru, because there's a drive-thru one by my house now. It's the only one in Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
And every time I go through the drive-thru, I needed to find something, because she's like, do you want anything? I'm like, no, I'm good.
It's just like coffee.
Yeah, and that's the ritual, the fun of like, we're both drinking something right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Totally.
Oh my God. And I think about that on tour too. When I wake up, it's like, all right, boys, time to wake up. We're heading to the next city. And they're like, can we get coffee? I'm like, I'm like also the first one that wakes up, and then Jacob Cole wakes up, and then we got to wake everybody else up.
Are you a morning bird?
I've become a morning person. I worked until like 2 p.m. at the parking lots for like 6 or 7 years, so that destroyed my sleep schedule.
Oh yeah.
But then post parking lots, getting like jobs that I had to wake up for kind of relatively early, like 10 a.m., which was a lot for me because I woke up like at 12 every day.
Yeah.
I like slowly over the next like 4 years got to a place where I'm up pretty early now. Yeah.
I enjoy a good early morning. I have to do that now for my job, and it's really nice. I think I'm transitioning into that.
Yeah.
But and I get so sleepy by like 11. I'm like, I can't stay up any later. But yeah.
But like early is it like coffee shop early where you're getting there like at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like
Basically.
that. I still can't do that. I did that a couple times at another job.
I just like it because it's serene. Like it's like
right.
And I have to drive, so I can
it's super quiet.
Actually focus on like listening to music or like thinking. Whereas like most of my day is spent like doing things or like sitting on my phone or like sitting around the house.
Yeah.
So it's like a moment to kind of just be with my brain and my music, and also like the sky is all dark and gloomy.
Totally, and it's like
poetic.
It's dark, but there's a little bit of light coming through because the sun is going to come up soon enough.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's a good time.
Yeah, nothing like. Well, I guess it's not twilight hour because that's night, but it feels like it.
Yeah, it feels like it. Yeah,
it's like kind of spooky, mysterious.
I experienced that the other night. I was leaving my DJ gig. It was around midnight, and there was nobody on the road from Ventura to Santa Barbara. I was like, oh my God, this is nice. And no one's texting me.
Liminal space.
No one's emailing me.
Yeah.
It's like, the notifications have just stopped. I was like, this is amazing.
It's a beautiful experience.
I know.
That's how it feels. Yeah.
I know. I was just like driving, listening to music with the window down. I was like, this is the best.
Yeah. This is why I enjoy my early mornings.
Totally. Yeah. I get it. I'm all for it. I'm all for just like the silence.
Yeah.
You know?
Or, I mean, alternatively, really, really late nights. Like,
yeah.
if I can bring myself to stay up super late, then that's really nice. But usually if I'm up till 3 in the morning, I'm on TikTok or Instagram.
Last Saturday, Jacob Cole played a show at Rincon Brewery, the one
nice.
That's in the Funk Zone over here.
Oh,
they opened the new one.
Nice.
And we stayed out till like 1:30, and I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I'm done.
No,
I was like falling asleep at Elsie's. I was like, this is too much.
I fall asleep at Elsie's too.
It's also cozy.
It's a very cozy place. I love Elsie's. Yeah. But yeah, no, I like, it's like 11:30, and then I'm like, oh, okay. I'm fading.
Yeah.
And then
out.
12 comes, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Especially when you drink. Like, if you
totally.
drink alcohol,
just if you're drinking all day.
Messes you up.
I know. Yeah. Drinking all afternoon. Like, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about, I guess, your morning routine. Like, at what point of the day do you get to, like, just write music? Is it just spontaneous, or do you have, like,
mornings I definitely feel more inspired than I do, like, afternoons. But, if I'm sitting around the house, an idea will just pop into my head, and I'll get sucked into it for a little while. But I never have like a routine for writing music or anything. It's purely spontaneity.
When you feel like it.
Yeah.
Do you have like the voice memos thing with all that?
I have like 1,700 voice memos.
It's taking up space in your phone.
Space in my phone, but they're all unnamed.
Oh, they're all the numbers.
They're like the numbers. And so I'm like, oh God, okay, this one's 4 minutes long, so it must have been like a full song.
Yeah.
So I should listen to that one. And then other ones are like 20 seconds, and I'm just like, ah.
And you're like, what was I thinking?
I know, yeah. Like in the car driving, there's like all this background noise.
Interesting.
And stuff. But yeah, I try to not put pressure on myself with writing, because I had just done that too much in the past, and it really messed with my head. So now I'm just like, okay, if a song's gonna come, it's gonna come. And since I let that go, I've been writing so much more. And it's especially been the case over the pandemic, being stuck at home and like having the time to drop everything when you have an idea, whereas like if you're at work you can't do that. So it's been really nice for
Did you find, were you able to write songs in the pandemic?
So much more than I ever have been before, which is like how people would expect that to go. And I was surprised that I was picking up the guitar like every day, because
interesting,
prior to the pandemic I was maybe once a week,
interesting. So that's the opposite of what I heard. A lot of this pandemic, doing
struggled.
This podcast, I got an insight of like how people are feeling, which is like not how I thought this was gonna go. That's
the thing, is like people feel the pressure. Okay, I have all this time now, I should do something with it. But for me it was like, okay, I don't have that mentality, so it's letting me create the art.
Interesting.
But that's to a certain extent. I still get kind of like in my head about it, but
my biggest roadblock was lyrics.
It's
like I didn't have anything to write about.
Yeah, totally.
So it's like normally I just write about my life.
I'm still in the same boat, and my cop out thing to write about is love. Like,
of course,
everyone,
right,
everyone does. But like writing about like my shitty love, like that's. Can I cuss? I don't.
Yeah, it's YouTube.
I was like, wait, I don't know.
Yeah, no, totally. I know.
So like that's just my main source of inspiration, is like heartbreak.
Right.
But I've been trying to challenge myself to like get out of that box and like write about like mundane things,
right.
And I took a songwriting course recently with School of Song. Do you know what that is? It's a songwriting program. I'm not quite sure who's in charge of it, but they had like Buck Meek do a songwriting session. I did mine with Lamelda. Cool. And they were so cool. It was just such a good experience, and it forced me to like. Right. We wrote a song every class. So I had like 5 songs. It was like just a 2-week course. Yeah. But we had like 5 songs come out of it, and it was a really good experience. It made me like really think about how I'm gonna approach songwriting as we go forward. So I'm probably going to take a bunch more classes, because it was an awesome experience. Yeah, if anything, it just like makes you do. That's what I loved most about working in the parking lots, because they would let me play guitar in there. Oh, really? Really?
And I was just sit down at the lots for 6 hours.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
Something's going to come out. Like,
yeah, totally.
They had, they used to have TVs, but then they took the TVs out. This is like a long time ago. They don't have any of this anymore. You can't even play guitar in the lots anymore. But like, yeah, you sit there for 6 hours, something's going to come out. Like, even if it's just like one little idea that you can build on later, you're going to get something. And I do not have that time. And then the pandemic, like, I thought I would have that time, but like, I still didn't do that. I don't know.
Yeah. It took me a while
it's like a discipline thing
to feel that.
To get into it?
I would say it wasn't until November or October that I really started getting into the music again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think getting more into songwriting over the pandemic spiraled me into getting more into actual devotion into my music. And my EP that I had just put out, that was recorded. We started recording it in 2016, late 2016, and I finished it in 2019. So it was 2 years of like sitting on those songs, and I was like just so like hesitant to put it out for some reason. But finally, once I started getting really devoted, I was like, it's time to like just put it out and then move on. So I would say that's one of the best things I could have done during the pandemic, was like really focusing on learning how to release music and
right. And what'd you learn?
Doing it. Oh, so much.
Yeah.
There's there's so many things I would have never expected to have to think about, you know. But yeah, I just learned that like, one, you should really be organized. I was not. I was shooting like I had my singles that I was gonna put out. But I had no like cohesive idea for like what the album cover was gonna look like or anything. So I just started putting the singles out and shooting the covers and the music videos like as I was going. Which I know maybe some people do that. I don't really know, but I've noticed that a lot of artists already have like their singles kind of tie into like aesthetically tie into each other until it leads to the big release. But I didn't really do that because I just didn't plan it all out.
Yeah, you just didn't know.
That was like the cool part, was they all were kind of spontaneously put together, and they all have their different moods. So like the first one was very dark and moody. The second one was like soft and like colorful. Right. And then my last one was like kind of serious, like my real serious single. Yeah, so it was just, there's a lot that I learned, and going forward, like I also didn't really budget anything. So yeah, But
a lot of it you could do by yourself, right?
Yeah,
like,
totally. There's a lot, especially like making the artwork. Right. Like, it's so important to be able to do that yourself. And so like luckily I was able to do all that and not have to hire anyone except for like photographers. I hired one, but other than that, like my partner and I just shot
did all of it
stuff myself. But yeah, I didn't really have a budget, and so I was just like spending all my unemployment money. Totally. Shout out to the unemployment money. Yeah. So I think going forward, I'm gonna plan like what my budget is, how I'm gonna go about getting that money, what I'm gonna be going for generally, and then just kind of like going through the real steps of it, of
how to make it work.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah, that's exactly what you do. Like every show you play, you don't spend it, you bank it, and then you just have this like the reserve. Yeah, and then you can use it so you don't have to pay out of your own pocket.
That's a good move.
Yes, every show you play,
just
don't
put that money into some savings. Yeah, okay, I'm taking that.
You have to. Yeah, it's the only way. Like I'm at the point right now. Now that the shows are back, I'm like trying to pay the band and also keep the money. Like a larger portion of them goes into this reserve. I don't touch it. Like I don't need to have a job right now. Yeah. That I work from home. Very blessed. Yeah. And so like I don't need to pay myself. Yeah. So I can pay them, keep that, because eventually, I think we have like 2 tours in 2020 or 2022 about to get announced. And it's like, nice. I'm going to need a van for that. And a van rental can be like a lot.
That's another
So that's like what I'm saving up for right now. Yeah.
No, that's a really good move. And it's crazy how much it costs to do that.
So much.
And then like, you're like, what do I get in return? But also it's fulfilling in different ways. So,
yeah. That's like why I started DJing.
Yeah.
So I could have extra money.
Yeah,
and then
totally.
like pandemic happened, I couldn't DJ anymore. I was like, oh, I'm screwed here.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's all a learning process.
Right.
Every step that you take in your career is going to lead you like
Right.
further, just knowledge-wise.
Totally.
And this is my first big release. So it's like laying the foundation is how I kind of
Right.
view it. Is like I don't have to make it all perfect and like get all the listens.
You
and
just
get all
need
the
something
attention.
on the internet,
Yeah,
right?
because I hadn't really established myself prior to, and I
No.
went through a name change a year ago.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, okay, I'm starting fresh basically. So I really need to just put it out and like let it speak for itself, and then going forward, really kind of professionally build myself up. So yeah, that's the plan.
That's crazy. Wow. So what's that feeling like when the EP's already out and it's on Spotify? It's the day of. Like literally, what are you feeling in that moment? Because I know how I feel that moment, but I want to hear your feeling.
Yeah, I get kind of like relieved. Like this was like a lot of work, and I was just like, okay, finally, it's out there, and I don't have to stress. But then you get stressed because you're like, okay, I gotta promote it.
Are people listening?
Are people listening?
Yeah.
So it's a mixture of feelings. Then I get kind of sad. I'm like, okay, it's done. Like it's out, and now I have to like, if I want to keep doing this, I gotta do another one.
Right. Yeah.
And then that's a whole, but that can take time. You have some space for that. But and then I started like, I have this weird thing where on a release day, I don't want to be alone. So I start making my plans, my celebration plans.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I had like on my big EP release, I had like a dinner with my parents and my closest friends, and that was just really a really nice way to like kind of celebrate the hard work and like kind of give that moment a celebration.
That's awesome. Yeah,
So,
I have experienced an emptiness and like oh yeah, it's out, and like this weird like transfer of ownership where it's not mine anymore.
Yeah, no,
it's like everybody's.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, and it's
scary, and it's a very vulnerable process, which is why I was so scared to put this out for so long.
Right.
But you just got to do it. Unless you don't want to do it, but then you just have,
and then don't do it.
Then you just have these songs that are like nicely recorded. What are you gonna do with them? Just listen yourself? You have to do it.
Totally.
Other people will be drawn to it, and it doesn't have to reach like the whole entire world.
Right.
Because people who need to hear it will hear it.
Right.
And that's kind of how I viewed this EP. And I feel like so lucky to just have like support, and like people are saying so many nice things, and yeah, I'm happy with that. And so
Totally.
But it's inspiring me to move on to the next thing.
Where are you at with playing shows? Are you going to play shows soon? Are you going to get a band together? Are you going to play by yourself?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to get a band together. It's just a matter of finding the right people.
Right.
But yeah, I played a show a few weeks ago at Junior High in LA.
Oh yeah.
It's a really cool art spot.
That's awesome.
They have a lot of really cool shows going on, and it was like personally a big dream of mine since I was a little bit younger.
Yeah, that place is
to
cool.
play there. So yeah, that was awesome.
How'd you get on that show?
Just like a friend was involved in a show that was being planned and was like, "Hey, you should play this," and it worked out really well. And it was just like an ideal show, like really cool people, like nobody lame, So yeah, it was just a nice event, but that's the only thing I had planned. I'm kind of iffy,
Yeah.
It feels like right as I was about to start, I was thinking of booking a fall tour, and I was about to start planning that, and then Delta variant hit.
Getting bad.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, you just kind of have to be like, okay, it's kind of a risk you gotta take. I'm sure you feel the same way. Yeah,
there's like a feeling of like, should I be doing this? What venues are gonna like require and not just require, but actually go through with it. It's one thing to like say you're gonna check masks and whatever and negative tests, and
But actually
do it at the day of the show is like, I don't know. I'm bringing my own mic now to shows.
Yes.
I bought a good mic, and I've just been I've left it at 2 shows already, which is bad.
Yeah.
But I got him back both times.
Nice. And then you just
it's not something. Yeah, it's not something I ever thought about. Like I never used to like worry about the mic. I just leave the mic on stage and I walk away.
Yeah, and then
but now
using other people's.
Where's my little bag? Okay, and
totally.
So that's like a whole new thing. I need to train myself. Don't forget the mic.
Yeah.
The first time I just left it at the venue. I was like, it's fine. I'll just buy another mic.
Yeah.
And then second time, I left it again.
Like, okay.
In my manager's car, and now he's gonna
buying more mics every time.
That's what I thought about. I was like, oh my god, that mic was like $130. I cannot keep spending $130 on microphones. Like,
yeah. Totally.
But I'm nervous. You know, I think I'm not nervous to get like sick, but I'm nervous that other people will get sick.
Yeah.
Because we'll be backstage if there is a backstage, or we'll be away from people. Mm-hmm. The audience doesn't really have that.
It's the audience, yeah.
Yeah, they don't have
and
that option.
Staff.
Yeah, and the staff.
Yeah. It's definitely something I'm approaching with hesitancy.
Yeah.
And I think if I do play a show, I'm gonna just take every single precaution possible. Like the one that I played at junior high, it was pretty safe. Like literally every single person had a mask on.
Oh, good.
Not one person had it below their nose.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. I kept mine on up until when I played, and then afterwards I put it back on.
Yeah.
Brought my own mic. So yeah, but I can imagine touring would be a different story.
Right.
Like this was just a single show.
I can't even think about touring through New Mexico, Texas right now.
Are you doing that?
I think next year.
Next year.
Yeah, not right now.
I feel like in another
Just doing
year
California.
we'll get some clarity in the situation.
I'm going to Denver next weekend.
Denver?
I don't know what the deal is over there.
I have friends in Fort Collins, and
I'm playing there.
I know. I invited my friends,
really?
so hopefully they show up.
Oh my god, that show is going to be weird.
Yeah, I hope they show up. I don't know anything about the place. I heard
it's a museum.
Oh, it's a museum.
It's a museum, and I'm playing by myself, and it's like a panel. So I'm going to play some songs, and people are going to ask me questions about how to be in a band.
Really cool.
And there's going to be like, cocktails, whatever. And it's going to be upstairs. It's going to be on the roof. It's not going to be inside the museum.
Ooh.
So it'll be outside.
Oh my gosh, that's really cool.
Actually. It's going to be, it's not going to be like what I think it is, but it should be indifferent. I'm going to try and film it, and if it's crazy, then I'll post on YouTube.
Put it up. I would love to see that. That sounds awesome. Yeah. Well, hopefully my friends will show up.
Yeah, if they got questions.
I'll be like,
how to be in a band.
Yeah. They're actually in a band called Companion.
Cool.
Formerly
in
known
Denver?
or in Fort Collins.
Fort Collins?
Originally they were from Oklahoma, but they just moved. And they're really incredible musicians.
Cool.
Sophie and Joe.
Nice.
So if you ever, if they come, I hope they
Sophie
introduce
and
themselves.
Yeah,
and then you can get to know them. But
that's awesome.
Yeah. Anyways, we're talking about touring. And,
we're talking about touring. Yeah, through the South.
Fort Collins has been pretty on it.
Oh, good.
So hopefully that'll be a safe show for you. That's just what I heard. So
awesome.
And Colorado seems like it would be
pretty
good.
Liberal spot. Yeah, like people are conscious of each other's space.
Like basic human decency.
I keep saying this, but I thought it was gonna be like that here, and people immediately went back to their old ways. Like at the grocery store, just crowding behind you. It's like, dude, did we not learn shit?
Anything,
anything.
Especially, I work in food service,
right?
And it's
just as rude as they ever were before.
It's really scary.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of trying to figure out if I'm mentally prepared for this environment, because we had a COVID scare last week. And luckily I'm negative. But I had a false positive.
Oh.
I did a home test. And the first test I did after finding out someone at my work had COVID was positive. Oh. And I was spiraled into the worst anxiety attack I've ever had. And then luckily I was like, okay, I just got to get a bunch of tests and see. And luckily all of the rest came back negative. So I was like, okay, I'm fine. But that's just the thing is
those rapid tests aren't great.
No, not at all.
At all.
So yeah, it's really weird navigating, in this world that
totally.
We're living in right now.
I know. I didn't see my family for Christmas because my dad's friend came over, and then the next day he's like, "Hey man, my mom has COVID. And I've been with her all week." And then so we all just locked down in our house. And my dad, I got my dad a bunch of different tests, and he went to CVS and ended up being negative. We all ended up being negative, but it was during Christmas time.
Oh, that's
we did
so
Christmas
sad.
like a week later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
I know. Super annoying.
Yeah, holidays.
It got bad around the holidays.
Yeah, no, it was really bad.
Everywhere.
It was a nice, like, small few months of, like, feeling like normal.
I know.
And then the spike. But hopefully, like...
Did you know anyone who got it?
Yeah, I've had a few family members. I actually had a family member pass away right at the start of the pandemic. It was my uncle.
They lived in California?
No, he was in Louisiana.
Oh,
so,
yeah, same.
And it was just really sad because it was like right in the beginning and no one knew how to deal with it.
Whoa.
And I don't think he really knew what was going on. So yeah, it was just, it was
that's
really
brutal.
sad. And acquaintances I've known, but luckily, knock on wood, no one in my circle has had to go through it. I'm like hella knock on wood. And I am such an anxious person.
Right.
So this is, I'm taking it very seriously and like really trying to make sure I'm doing the best I can.
Totally.
So
I know. It's crazy.
I'm like, oh man, I'm not cut out for this world. Like, things just keep going worse and it's like all my worst nightmares are coming true. Except for a meteor coming from the sky.
I'm sure that's going to happen any day now.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Every time I see an article like on Facebook, like some bullshit article, my heart sinks and
that's probably not even real.
No, it never is.
Fake news.
It never is. Yeah. But
the actual fake news.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know, but it's also like I'm trying to learn how to manage it because like these things are gonna be inevitable in our lifetimes, and I can't let it be debilitating. So
totally, yeah, especially when you have like things you want to do in life, like playing shows and whatever. Like, I don't know. It's
I think the best thing to do is to just assess, the situation and decide smartly. Like, if you're playing in a crowded, small, like, room like this, I don't think that's a good move. But if you're playing in, like, an outdoor venue.
Or outdoor venue or, like, a regular,
or,
size
like, a
venue.
bigger venue. Right. And, you know that the staff is making it a priority.
Right.
Or the venue is, then I feel like that's the best you can do.
We're gonna find out which venues are. We're gonna find out which venues are on it and which are not.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know. We'll see.
I think it's. I don't know. It's just tricky.
I'm playing SOhO on October 29th, Halloween weekend, and I'm curious to see how SOhO handles it.
I'm playing that well, I'm not playing.
Oh, but
myself,
you're in Alexander's Men.
Yeah. So I think I.
She was on the podcast this week.
Oh, nice!
I dropped it, but I haven't promoted it yet.
Oh, nice!
So I'm gonna cut it.
This comes out
next week.
Next week.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like to be a little bit ahead of myself.
Yeah.
But this like last like week. I did 5. No, I think I did like 4 in LA. So I was like ahead of myself. Like I was like good, and then I didn't even think about it until I posted the last episode. I was like, oh, I need to do more episodes. I'm running out of episodes. Yeah, I think we're gonna do one. I don't know. I feel like I might have to start doing some Zoom ones again, which I'm not excited about. But like, it's easier. Yeah, and it's for bands who are out of town.
Then, I was gonna say you can get more of a diverse crowd of people on here.
Yeah,
I will say like your podcast is probably one of the only ones I've listened to. When I've done my like surface level listening of podcasts, it's yours, and then I've listened to my friend Maxton's.
Oh yeah.
He started a podcast, and so
I haven't done
I just
his
listen
yet.
to my friends, I guess.
Right.
If they have a podcast, I'll listen. But
it's kind of fun. It's like a way to create content.
Yeah.
That is not music, but it is music.
It is.
But it's not.
It's about music. I mean,
it's about music. Yeah.
And I always really love listening to like NPR. Like, it's a very comforting thing to listen to. So I'm definitely gonna start giving podcasts more of a chance here.
There's like, I don't know, it's just a nice breakaway from music. I like fell in love with all the comedians podcasts, and I loved how they like had each other on and would promote each other's dates.
Yeah.
And I always thought
Which is basically what you're doing.
Which is like, I took it from that and I was like, okay, but now we'll add musicians to it. Because all the other musician podcasts are like Song Exploder, where they break down a song and it's like, that's not really what I'm looking for. I couldn't find a podcast that was like what the comedians are doing, but for music.
Yeah.
And I don't know. All the music ones had like a theme, and that's great. Like, I think it is smart to have like a theme. That's how you break through in the podcast world, because there's so many podcasts where people are just shooting the shit. But like, I don't know. I still want to learn about the lives and like the process and like.
And you like, talking about things that aren't just music, you learn more about the world
and the artist.
You know, and the artist. You get to know. It's like an in-depth, like intimate moment learning about your favorite artist.
Totally,
it's really cool. So yeah,
and it's also about having that like one-on-one relationship with my fans and the people who are into Dante. Like the last like few years, at least of me doing this podcast, people have just seen the real me and not just like the Instagram me where it's at a show or whatever. It's like, this is like the actual me and my actual thoughts and like, just talking how I talk. Like really, when you see me in person, this is how I am too. Like there is no like act. Like I like that aspect of it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I always love like listening to artist interviews and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
I always love those.
I feel so inspired listening to my favorite artists talk about like their their daily lives. Or,
totally.
It's a really cool way to connect. So
I love it.
Especially on the internet. Like,
it's the hardest to connect on the internet, but
somebody
like
else's conversation.
Totally, and you're just listening.
So cool.
It's like a lot of the stuff is, it's like the conversations that happen backstage, but you get to actually hear it. And that's sweet. It's just like when you're backstage at a show, you ask people like the real questions, like, "Hey, how do you do this? How do you get records pressed?" Like that's like the real conversation that happens, and then it's like hidden from anyone who just wanted to like peek
who wants
in.
To hear that information.
It's like, how do you put out CDs? Are CDs even important anymore? Like,
I've been contemplating.
Yeah, where are you at with merch?
I haven't made a decision. I was just gonna do everything digitally.
Yeah.
But I feel like especially not playing shows right now, like I don't really know what the point of having physical stuff would be. However, I think that it's really cool. Like it's an accomplishment, and I'm kind of trying to figure out like a cool way to do it, like especially like sustainably wise. Like I feel like I get a lot of CDs and they end up in my car and then they get scratched and then I have to throw them away.
And then they're done.
And then it's just useless. So I'm like, okay, is that really worth the pollution? Is that really worth the like money that I'm gonna spend making them? But also I feel like maybe not CDs, but cassettes are collectible and records are
cheaper.
Collectible. I mean, so are CDs, but I think there's kind of more of a draw to like the
there's more of like a novelty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So cassettes are probably potentially going to be my move.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just cool. Like I love collecting cassettes. Like
totally.
The different like designs. Like I have one that's like all sparkly and silver. That was something I want to do.
Yeah.
So figure out how they did that. But yeah, I think that this EP deserves something. Because it's been in the works since I was like 15. Like that's when I started writing the first songs for it. So I think it deserves that, and I think people would buy it. And maybe the next album, a record, like a vinyl.
That'd be awesome.
I think working my way up, and especially money-wise, like I don't want to spend all my money at once. And then also just like tote bags and t-shirts. I screen print. I do my own merch.
Really?
Yeah, I design my own. Like I'm an artist as well. So I do it all myself, and I think that that'll be really easy to, just
to get the shirts, and you can screen print them on your own.
Yeah. But like the CD aspect is like you gotta go through somebody else, and
totally. So
yeah, I'm still formulating my thoughts, and it's been like 3 weeks.
You could potentially do cassettes by yourself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like a machine. It's like a duplicator. It's a tape duplicator. Yeah. And then you just like run like an aux cord from your, I don't know how high quality this is, but we're talking about cassette. So it's like you run it from your, the big mastered files into the duplicator, and then it just records.
Yeah, no, that's totally it.
Boom, 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 boom,
but then like, what about the inserts? You could probably,
you could print those.
Yourself.
Yeah. You could just design them on Photoshop and then print them.
Well,
and then
think about it.
I can't remember. They're just there's like a free templates online you can just download for J card sleeves, and then
totally,
because they go like a J and then just pop them in.
Like a little J. That's cute.
Totally.
I think that would be a really cool move. However, I'm so enamored with the sparkly.
Oh yeah, I don't know how to do that. I have no idea how to do the sparkly cassettes. Yeah.
Pink cassettes, I love that. So
pink would be easy.
Pink would be
Yeah, but I don't know about the sparkly.
Could you spray paint them? Is that
no?
I feel like that would damage.
No, whatever wholesale company you buy tapes from will have all the colors.
Oh.
But I don't know if they have sparkly. I don't know if that that was a custom.
I will hunt it down.
Yeah, you have to hunt that down.
Yeah.
But any wholesale company you buy cassettes from will have like yellow, white, green, like any color you want.
I'll look into it.
I know.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's been a few weeks since this EP's out. I'm just like, I feel like I had the chance to like put some physical stuff out when it came out, and now I'm like, oh, is it too late? But I also I feel like it's never too late.
It's never too late.
And same with merch and playing shows and doing things like this and getting PR and stuff.
Right.
Like anything can help you.
Totally.
Like anything is cool.
Yeah. There's
to put it simply.
Yeah. I put a record out in 2018 digitally. And I still am thinking about like, I should do a record. I should do a record for that one. But like the cover art was controversial, so I need new cover art.
Which album was
It's the one where the girl's washing the car. I
Oh.
didn't think it was like that, and now I'm looking. When I put it out, people are like, "What?" Like some women got on my case about it. Like,
oh, interesting.
and I get it, and I get their point. Like, I get how it can be seen as sexist. I didn't think of it like that when I,
What was the sexist element that
the fact that
people
she's
imply?
a topless woman washing a car with her head cut off.
Oh.
And I was like, I didn't
would
see it that way.
never read
But also,
into it that
as a
way.
single man, that's why you need women around you.
True.
To tell you when shit is
put you in
like,
check.
I didn't have anyone around me. I was me as a 26-year-old man. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about it. I was like, that's fine. Like, I don't think about album art that much.
Totally.
So
feel
I
like-
do want to redo the album art for that because I don't
Yeah.
want to print it and people be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I wouldn't have read into it that way.
Right.
But, it's a valid point if somebody feels that way. So
Totally.
But, yeah, you should definitely. I feel like
I know.
that is reassuring to me. Like, if you're still thinking
I'm
about
still
something.
thinking it's been
like,
years.
that's okay, cool.
I'm still thinking
I have
about it.
some time. So.
You have lots of time.
And also raising money. Like, I spent so much of my own money on
Right.
this. So I think that maybe playing shows and like saving up some to get some nice.
And then by the time you play shows, the merch.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're cutting costs on like paying someone to make all your shirts for you, you could just do it yourself.
Yeah.
And then big profit margins on t-shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's the band's bread and butter on the road is selling
Yeah.
fucking shirts because they're like $1, $2 to make, and you sell them for 20.
20. Yeah.
Like,
no, there you go.
$18 profit
That's-
each time. Like not bad.
That's a good move. And
If it's one color, it gets
Yeah.
more expensive with the colors. but
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
I also like have my own like art business. I haven't really been
Promote
devoting...
the art.
Yeah,
business.
Soft Devotion. That's
Okay.
my art business. And I haven't really been focused on it because I've been putting out music.
Yeah.
But,
and you take commissions? Like what
I
what
do,
kind of
yeah.
stuff is going on?
I do illustrations, graphic design. I design like show posters and album artwork. I did Jacob's album. Jacob
I
Cole,
love that, yeah.
The Easy Street one. It was super like fun to do. And he has such a specific aesthetic. It was really easy to knock out. But yeah, no, so I've been learning about that kind of aspect of like merch making through my art. And yeah, I feel like it does kind of cost a lot of money to get the materials, but once you get going and you're like you got the products to sell, it kind of goes by itself.
Totally.
And, yeah, I feel like just like DIY culture is so important when you're a musician and like when you're an artist, just doing it all yourself.
Especially when you're starting out, but then even past that, like
yeah, totally.
you always have like a little bit of that DIY spirit.
Makes you connected to your music.
I was saying that with the Alexandra one, like of understanding every role of the industry. You kind of get like, I think I used the word empathy, but maybe that's probably the word. But like you understand everyone's position a little bit more and understand like each cog turns.
Totally.
Like when you're the band, when you're the promoter, when you work, because I worked at Velvet Jones for a long time. I saw that aspect of it of like what are venues expecting when you come in to play a show.
Yeah.
They want to sell drinks. That's like literally how they live. It's like we need people to come in here and buy drinks because we give you the most of the door. We take a small bit of the door and then we need to fucking really make drinks because that's all we do. We're just the space to host the art. You're
like
the art
merch version.
It's like a weird handshake deal here. Yeah, and drinks are super cheap. Like,
yeah, totally.
They give you a little bit of drink and then they charge you like $10.
Yeah.
Like, it's awful.
It's awful for the customer, but great for them.
Yeah, totally. And so like understanding how that works, how PR agents work, how booking agents work, you kind of like get it and getting an understanding of it. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Everyone's working hard here. And like nobody's getting paid a lot. Like, I get it.
Yeah, I think that is definitely something I've learned within this past 6 months of putting out music. I worked with a good friend of mine, Roberto Johnson. He helped me with PR. And then I had another friend named Kathleen Kelly who helped me a little bit with PR. And I don't think I could have done it without them, only because I gained so much knowledge from them. And like going down the line, I mean, I think I would still probably hire somebody for PR going forward, but it makes me realize how much work goes into it and how defeating it can be.
Totally.
Like you send like hundreds of emails and get like 3 responses, and most of them are no.
Totally.
So yeah, that's I've developed such an appreciation for that side of it, and like I said, there's just so many things about releasing music and trying to be a professional musician that you just don't think about. But then you learn.
And you don't see it because it's hidden behind the wall. No one sees it. They just see the end.
They just see the Instagram and the record and
they think you're doing great. They're like, oh, you're killing it right now. It's like, I worked really hard to get what I got. Like, just to get what I have, which isn't very much, I worked hard just to get that. Like,
I retweeted something about that recently. I can't remember the tweet, but it was like something like, I work so hard, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into my music, and it's all for you to say, oh, this is kind of cool. And I was like, oh, that's like the story of everybody.
That is so real.
Everybody's life as a musician.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it's like,
hey, I mean, at least if one person says, hey, that's cool, then that's
something.
That's still something.
Yeah.
So it's like the small victories, I guess.
You have to take the small victories. You have to just cherish them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because at least they're victories.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, totally.
I feel the same way.
Oh, man. How long have we been talking?
1 hour.
I feel like I know. I feel like my clock is set now. Because every time I'm saying, last couple podcasts, like, how long have we been going? An hour? Oh, okay. It's like happened like 4 times now. My clock is set to an hour.
Yeah.
I know when the conversation's going.
That's awesome. I had no clue. I
really?
was like, I feel like it's been like 10 minutes.
What else should we talk about? What else is going on in your life? What's happening next?
Well, yeah, I feel like that's a good thing to end on maybe. I have so much music now.
Okay.
So I'm hoping this fall to start recording the
next really?
thing. Yeah. Cuz I got so antsy waiting for 2 years when I finished recording it in 2019. So I'm just like, okay, it's time to get back in now that I've put this out. So hopefully, I mean, it's not going to be quick, but hopefully within the next year or two, I'll have another project out.
When you're recording, do you have a band? Like, are you going to try and get a band for this next session? Like,
I
mean, so there's some kind of...
I hadn't really thought about it. My EP that we just put out, or I not we.
You and the team.
Me and the team. We just tracked everything like one-on-one. We like I played bass, or no, not bass. I played guitar for all the tracks. The guy I worked with, Jesse Rhodes, he played bass on a lot, some keyboards, some like slap guitar. But it was just the two of us doing everything, and then we hired in a session drummer named Austin Beatty. I don't know if you
I know him.
Beatty. Yeah, I don't know. I hope I said his last name right. I think so. But yeah, that it kind of just was like we took sections and then put it all together. Cool. So I don't really know, but hopefully my next real like close plan is getting a band together, because then I might start thinking about shows more. I played solo for my whole life.
Right.
Never ever had a band to back me up for my own music. I've been in other bands, but it'll be really special, and that'll be an accomplishment for me.
Yeah.
So that's my plan for this fall, is like getting the band together, and maybe in like simultaneously with recording.
Right. Yeah, because I think the songs will take a different form, you know? There's different stages where you write it.
No, totally.
When you jam it with a band, it takes a different form. When you play it live, sometimes things don't work the same in the practice space that they do on the stage.
Agree.
So there's like different like evolutions, and then the studio.
I just feel like that's the better move is to play it with a band. I've played songs with bands, like my songs, but never like full shows with a band. And things just come together a little bit more. You get a little bit more clarity in like the song
maybe someone
structure.
has an idea and you're like, oh, that's a cool idea. Okay.
Totally. I'm sure you know all about that with your band. But I think the first focus is band. I really would like to tour. Like if it's possible and I feel like it's safe enough, I probably will start.
Yeah, 2022 I think will be better.
Yeah. I think like singular shows here and there, like double, like 2 shows or something might be okay. I really want to play the Joshua Tree Saloon. That's like a place I've heard of and been kind of like talking about that, but I haven't really set anything up.
Totally.
And then maybe some local stuff like SOhO would be cool. Like I've done singer-songwriter nights in the past. Like Alexandra played one of them, and it was just really special. So maybe something like that. But
I was working on a show for you to hop on, but like no venues. Like the venues in San Barbara either aren't responding or SOHO's booked.
That was the same case with Alexandra. Like, I won't speak for her, but
she talked about last week.
She did? Okay, yeah. She wanted to do an album release show, and it was just so hard to find a place that would, 1, be like financially possible, right, and 2, like, you know, would be realistic. And then another, you know, a lot of venues just wouldn't get back. So it's weird. It's weird. Like, wouldn't people be down for music? I don't know.
I even emailed that new place that used to be Velvet Jones. I was like, Music You're a Alley? Venue.
Yeah, like, I think they also did. I don't know. Something weird happened with them too. But it's like, what's the point if no one's gonna book? Yeah. But I think also to a certain degree, the hesitancy might be there, and that's valid. You know. That's true. They have like businesses to run. And,
security guards and all that.
Yeah. Like COVID, like check-in.
Especially as security guards because they see everyone. They're talking to everyone.
Every single person. Yikes. Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll just see how things go. I'm just really taking it step by step and like seeing what feels right. And that's always been my thing. Like I've never forced myself to put things out if it didn't feel right. Right. Which is another reason why it took so long for me to put this out.
What's that process with like the older songs? Did you ever feel like, they're old, maybe I shouldn't put these ones out? Like,
there's a song on there called Malibu that I wrote. I don't remember how old I was, but it was during, I went through different phases musically, you know, over my like youth, my adolescence, and there was a time where I did not want to be a folk artist at all, and so I was like, I'm gonna be surf rock artist as a solo artist. So I wrote Malibu, and it had its moment, and it's like a sweet little song, like an ode to Malibu. But I was really hesitant to put it on this EP because it just felt outdated. However, Jesse, the guy I worked with, was like, I think you might have a place for it. So we recorded it, and I was like, not really.
Oh, you re-recorded it?
We re-recorded it, yeah. And we stripped it down completely. It's just me and a guitar, and I changed the style. It's more like a 50s ballad kind of thing. So, and I think that changing that made it fit
a new energy.
Yeah, so I definitely struggled because these songs were written when I was like 15 or like 16. I was like, I'm 22 and I'm just putting this out. Like I feel a little disconnected. But I also just kind of, they tie into each other because it's like a collection of different experiences in my life and time markers, and so I feel like ultimately I get asked the question like, what's the theme of this EP? And while a majority of the songs are about heartbreak and or love, I feel like the general theme is like growing up and like embracing, like letting go and embracing change.
Embracing your cringe.
Yeah, basically. Oh my God, I have a lyric in my song Head Rush. I have a lyric that's like, more addictive than cigarette smoke, which is like, I romanticized cigarettes a lot in my teens. More addictive than chocolate, more addictive than Rain in July, more addictive than cute boys who cry. Like,
yeah,
I'm like, that is such a stupid lyric. But at the time I was like, oh, that's kind of like funny and clever.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I cringe a little bit at that.
But did you keep that line in?
I kept it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, see, you have to embrace the cringe.
It's like, I don't really know what else I'd put there. I was thinking about this like actually yesterday, like trying to rewrite the lyrics after I've already put it out.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, it's a cute song.
Yeah.
Like, it shows where I was at that point. So
totally.
And I think I've gotten a little bit more sophisticated. So.
Totally.
Going forward, I can still like prove myself. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, where can people get the record?
It's on all the streaming platforms.
Okay.
Everything, and if you follow me on social media, I will definitely.
What's your handle?
Cecilia _ James.
Okay, 2 underscores. It's getting harder and harder to get a handle now.
Dude, the other Cecilia James is like a Mary Kay rep. Like, like one of those like pyramids.
Yeah, totally.
I was like, oh no. But whatever. So yeah, Cecilia _ James. And yeah, I'll probably, like, if I decide to do like real physical copies and stuff, I will definitely be posting it.
Okay, cool.
And merch and stuff. I'm kind of starting to work on that at Element.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just.
How exciting!
And yeah.
This is the beginning.
The beginning. Exactly.
Like I said last week with Alexandra, like this is the beginning.
It's just the start. It's
the
foundation that I'm laying.
Totally.
And I'm really excited. About the future. Whatever it brings, like I'm gonna be happy.
Cool.
Doing music.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it. Like, never lose sight of that, because I lost sight of that in my 20s. And do not lose sight that the reason you do this is for fun.
Yeah.
And, like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's just fun. And if people like it, that's cool. If they don't, that's also cool. I do this for me, and it's fun.
Yeah.
I just got back there in my 30s. Like,
I'm starting to get there.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it was the gap where I was like, this is pointless.
Yeah.
But now
Totally.
It's so beautiful to connect sonically with other people. And so yeah,
that's awesome.
It.
Well, hell yeah. Well, thanks for coming on.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.